Hello, and thank you for taking the time to watch this video, A Parent's Guide to Outcome-Based Assessment. In the next few minutes, I'm going to cover some of the important ideas surrounding outcome-based assessment and try to highlight some of the important differences that you will notice, as well as how outcome-based assessment will benefit learning and achievement for our students. First, we need to define what an outcome is. Outcomes are big ideas in a particular course. They come from our ministry curriculum documents and summarize the key concepts that we want our students to learn. For example, in grade 9 science, one of our course outcomes is atomic structure and the periodic table, because that's a big idea in the course. Within that outcome, there are lots of smaller ideas, like learning about electrons, protons, elements, compounds, and so on. To understand what this will look like, we're going to consider a report card analogy. Imagine one of our students brings home a report card at the end of a semester. They had 4 courses, and we can see the marks they earned in each course. We can also determine the average mark over the entire semester. In this case, the average would be 72%. But now imagine for a moment that all the report card told you was the overall average for the semester, and you didn't know how well the student achieved in each course. This isn't nearly as helpful, especially when we realize that this distribution of marks would give the same 72% average. It is important to know each student's strengths and areas that students can focus on for improvement. With outcome-based assessment, we're extending that same idea to break down the content of each course into the big ideas. You can see here the set of 9 outcomes that are often used in the grade 9 math course. Students will earn a mark in each of the outcomes in the course, and teachers will be able to show students how they are doing in each of them. This will make it easier for teachers to give useful feedback on student progress. This is an example of what a report card might look like. This one is just showing the first 3 outcomes so that I can fit it all on one screen. Keep in mind that students will still be receiving their normal midterm and final report cards, so none of that will change from our previous practices. Notice that you can see a student's mark in each outcome, as well as the overall mark in the course, which is calculated as the average of the achievement in the outcomes. As a parent, you're going to see a bit of variety from class to class. You might not see as many marks on student work as you once did. Instead, we are trying to focus more on feedback to help students learn and improve their work. Outcome-based assessment isn't a new concept. Over the last 7 years, many of our teachers have moved to outcome-based assessment for evaluating student learning. The Western provinces use outcome-based assessment, with some who have fully implemented OPA for several years now, and other school boards in Ontario are on a similar path to ours. In the next few years, the LKDSB will begin fully implementing outcome-based assessment in our secondary schools, beginning with grade 9 and 10 classes in the 2024-2025 school year. We are excited for this change in our assessment practices, and we're happy to answer any questions you may have. There are many reasons why we're choosing to implement outcome-based assessment, but these are 3 of the biggest. Outcome-based assessment focuses on learning and improvement, and will allow teachers to better understand how students are progressing with their learning, and that will allow us to provide better feedback to help students improve. It is going to allow us to report very specifically on the big ideas of a course, so that students and parents are more aware of their areas of strength, what can be improved upon, and the next steps for improvement. And finally, it's going to allow our teachers to have more flexibility in how they choose to assess students, which will allow us to focus more on student learning. Thank you again for taking the time to watch this video to learn more about outcome-based assessment.